We always look at polls, and that's important because, well, Fox News, we have a lot of polls. But there's another interesting one that just shows social media hits. In other words, something or anything the president says that generates 46 million social media interactions a week. Now, compared to Joe Biden, who gets 2 million. Now, social media is beyond my comprehension. I'm told that people say awful things about me online, so I prefer not to investigate that. But, you know, Melanie, one thing, if that is an indication of just interest, advantage the president. What are we to glean from that?
Yeah, absolutely. Trump has the bully pulpit. He has a massive megaphone, and this is the benefit of being the incumbent, right? I mean, this number to me is just fascinating because you have Joe Biden, who's the front runner, who has the most name recognition in the Democratic field, and his impressions were 2 million versus Trump's 46 million. And what Trump did so successfully in 2016 was reach voters in a way we hadn't really seen before. So this is going to be the challenge for Democratic candidates going forward, is how do you fight against this? How do you compete for attention and not get drowned out by Trump, who has the power to really change the narrative with just like a single tweet and the hit of a button?
Yeah. Well, and he's so good at it. And
exactly,
who wants to follow Joe Biden, really? I mean, you know, when we killed the leader of ISIS, Trump got up there and said, he died like a dog. Okay, well, that's fun to read. Okay, you know, Joe Biden would say on you know, and so, you know, Trump is entertaining. And Newt Gingrich said when he was trying to become Speaker of the House, which he eventually did, is he said, I want to be in the news every single day. And everyone says Trump wants to be in the news every single second of the day, but it works, right?
Right, and he can do that.
You know what I wonder about this? I know there's that old line, maybe to follow up on what you said, Professor, about there's no such thing as bad publicity, but sometimes there can be, right? I mean, if you generate and you're out there all the time, you can muddy your own message here. Is there a danger of that with the president?
You know, the one thing that the president does, and to that end, is he has an amazing connection with his online base. And from that, that's what creates the level of interaction, the level of amplification of everything he says. Does he do too much of it? I think many of us would argue yes, but it works with his base. But I'll tell you another interesting aspect.
But you need more than that base. Right?
You do, but that gives you a good starting point.
No,
that's
you're
why
right,
he's got the lead that he does. But one of the things that's kind of untouched on this is last week, the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, said, oh, we're not going to take political ads. And you had a lot of Democrats come and say, oh, that's great. Well, we don't want you to take political ads. That is so stupid on their part. And the reason why they don't realize it, you had a lot of Democrats, primarily a lot of them from the Obama campaign, said this is not good for us as Democrats. And that is exactly why. It's because they are losing the online fight. Trump doesn't need ads to amplify his message. The Democrats do.
They
and the
do.
Democrat nominee for president is going to look back on that decision by Dorsey and Twitter and say, wow, that really hurt us a lot. It hurt us from a fundraising standpoint. It hurt us from a matter of connecting with our base, connecting with volunteers, building up new donors, and connecting to the media. And for all those reasons, I think what Dorsey did is a bad decision for the Democrats, and it probably helps President Trump.
You know, Melanie, I was even thinking in the reverse with Mark Zuckerberg testifying on Capitol Hill. Remember, he said, I'm not going to police or edit or correct ads. And Democrats are coming down hard on him. He should have raised his hand and say, that includes yours. You can make up whatever you want to. But he didn't. And I'm wondering if that's another message to Democrats that on social media, which, you know, made Barack Obama president, he was so adept at it, they're screwing this up.
Yeah, there is a lot of concern on Capitol Hill right now. To your point exactly, the Democrats are losing this social media battle. I think these numbers completely underscore that. But with Facebook, it's interesting because he did not say, Zuckerberg, that they were going to change ads that were false or misleading. But I think he could come under some pressure to do that, especially as a way to get regulators off of their backs before something happens.
Well, look, if Boeing has a jet that is not working, they pull it off the market, fix it, and put it back on the market. You know, Facebook has a product that is not working, and we know that from the 2016 election. And if Dorsey said, I'm going to pull political ads off, and maybe he did, and never put them on again, that makes no sense at all. But if they say, look, this is not working, we're going to pull it off the market, we're going to fix it, and we'll reintroduce it once it's fixed, that's what companies do all along. That's what Johnson & Johnson did with Tylenol.
Yeah, but I disagree with the premise that it's not working. I mean, what happened in 2016 on Facebook is, yes, foreign governments should not be able to do political advertising. That part, and that's been fixed. But from an overall standpoint of communicating with voters, I think if you look at what the Trump campaign did to what Obama did back in 2008 and 2012, and what it has done is allowed campaigns, massive campaigns, a national level to be able to connect with voters at an individual level. And you look at primary after primary in the general election in both 2016 and 2018, we had record numbers of people turn out and vote. And that is because they are once again feeling a connection from politicians on both sides of the aisle. And that's what's causing this level of increased turnout. So I would disagree that it's working.
How do you solve the misinformation thing? Because in democracy, when voters go to the voting booth, they have to have some resemblance of truth. And so that's the part that I think isn't solved yet.
Well, two aspects of that. Number one, broadcast TV has always had to take ads no matter what. And I think it's sort of a similar scenario. But number two, I think I'd assume that the American public are smart. And they can discern whether or not advertising or what they have seen is right or wrong and make decisions based on that.
All right, be careful who polices that, though.
That's right.
All right. Guys, I want to thank you all very much. Fantastic job. Great seeing you all. Meet